is Sugaray Raper, and we are live at the Suga Shack.
222. Everybody, how you doing? How you doing on this fine Tuesday in November? It's a beautiful 72 degrees here in sunny southern Arizona, and I'm chilling. My guest today is supposed to be Jason Richard and Kevin Burt. I'm waiting for both of them to get backstage, but we're going to keep on moving on, and we got some stuff I want to show for them. And I started thinking about harmonica, because I haven't had a lot of harmonica players on, and I know quite a few of them, so I thought I'd bring some in. So check this out. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? Tell you what, here's one verse by Jason Richard. Oh, but before I do that, Sean, how you doing? I'm good, fine. Barbara Ryan, thank you, beautiful. Yeah. It's 12 o'clock in Boston? Right on. It's 12 o'clock here. Did I get the time wrong? No, it's 12:06. It's time. Sherry Johnson, hey, how's Greg doing? I hope he's doing good. I've enjoyed the pictures that you pull up. Pat Cannon, Simplified Double Dog. And we've been praying for him every day, and we hope that he is on the road to recovery, which we've seen. And you've been by his side, like the visiting angel that you are. Bless your soul. And I've been praying for your strength. Here's one by Jason Richard. We're going to start it off like this, and we're going to see if we can get these guys backstage and get them going. All right, y'all. Love you. Come on, check it out. Yeah,
like a ship out on, hey, honey, like a ship out on the sea. Baby, I'm just drifting. Well, I'm just drifting, like a ship out on, honey, like a ship out on the sea.
Hey, Laura Hall. How you doing, boy?
Well, I got to wonder.
I'm going to get Jason on fire.
How do you ever think of me? Yeah.
I think I forgot to tell him the time changed.
Well, I'm too rich, honey. Yeah, I love. Waiting for another to come. For another to call your name.
How's Scottsdale?
Well, I'm just a fool.
Lorraine, all the way from Holland. How you doing?
Never gonna understand. Oh, yeah.
Kevin Burt said he had some problem with his computer. Yeah. I enjoy doing the two guests. Look like I might not have either one of them. Hey Siri, FaceTime. Kevin, I see you backstage, baby. All right, you got it. Maybe you didn't realize it's cash, baby. Come on, guys.
Such a long
how you doing? Jerry Linda, hello, beautiful. We don't change that. Yeah, all the Californians is 11 o'clock out in Cali. So they might be, we might be missing all the California people. Well, not all of some of them. Howdy, how you doing? Hey, Betty girl, how's life been treated? Tell I take a little cognac. Kevin, hey, don't let her go, Kevin. Tell I take cognac. Kevin, you let Mama go. I was trying to tell I take some cognac. She said, anything you need, I take some cognac. Yeah, I got you. You was talking to Mama. I said, tell her, I take some cognac. I need something. Miss Simmons, how you doing? I can dig it. But hold on. Nobody can hear you see you yet. You backstage. I'll bring you up in a minute. You know what? I am, it is an hour early. I should have went on at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock my time would have been what time your time? Yeah, no, what I'm saying is the rest of the world time change. Your time don't change here. I should have went on an hour later. I should have went on at 1 o'clock my time. Would have been 4 o'clock East Coast time, 3 o'clock Central time, and 12 o'clock California time. How you doing? I don't know. Stop until I go ahead and go on. I got to go ahead and go on. Yeah, I'm an hour early. I got to But this one got in Arizona. It's on the same time. Sorry, y'all. I'll do that next week. I'll go over there one my time. Y'all that morning. Audrey, how you doing? I'm gonna spend an extra hour. Dang it. This is the legendary. This is the an hour early. What's the got two kids to talk to as well. You know, back in Richie's performance at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool. Barbara Ryan, that will be. Come on, see, I like that. I had something else, but I'll try that. Jason Ritchie, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I love Jason. Question of the day, supplied by Miss Barbara Ryan. Should we have daylight savings time or not? As it seems like I'm already confused. Because it's Arizona, we don't change time. We stay right here. California moves, everybody else moves. We don't move. We're one of the few states that don't move. So even though it's 12 o'clock here, it's actually earlier or later everywhere for everybody else. So I apologize about that. Next Tuesday, I'll go on at 1 o'clock Arizona time, which will put us back in noon for California and Pacific Standard Time, and put everybody back in the regular slot. But unfortunately, I already started that because I got up ready for noon. And it's noon here, baby. I forgot that the rest of y'all changed. So my man Kevin Burt is backstage because he early like me. You know, as black people, we don't never pay attention to the time. We just try to get on. So that's good. I'm glad you're here, Kevin. So I have this hour with you, and hopefully Jason will come on a little bit later. But the question of the day now, supplied by Miss Barbara Ryan out in Hull, Massachusetts. Should we even have daylight saving time? I mean, from my understanding, originally it was for the farmers, so they can have longer days in the sun to plant. In the days where we got electricity and all that good stuff, we don't really need it, in my opinion. So they all answer that question: should we or should we not have daylight saving time? What are your thoughts on that? Come on, talk to me, baby. John Morgan, no, originally implemented for dairy farmers, not needed anymore. I agree, brother. Eric Sessamon, I'm sorry, brother. No, get rid of it. It's going to be a long show today. Yes, it is, brother. Patricia Gideon says hi, Kevin Burt. Barbara Ryan says she hates daylight savings times. Have to get up in the dark and come home in the dark. In the spring, we lose an hour, and everyone always late for work. Yeah, I can dig it. Toby Simmons, California says dark at 4 p.m. here in Encino. Do not like that. Patricia Gleason, no PM. I don't know what no PM is. Nicole Mother, nah, I always need to move 1 hour west to avoid this sort of jazz. Hey, let me play one about my guest here. Let me see what I want to play. I got all kind of stuff. And I've loved this cat from the first time I met him. Plus, he's the same size I am. I like to see people my size in the blues world. Check this out.
About Doobie Brothers, so I was telling folks I'm gonna put a little doobie in your funk real quick. It's a line from old Parliament song back in the day. But in my head, this one goes like this here. Down around the corner, half a mile from here, see them long trains running, baby, and you watch them disappear, baby, without love. Tell me, where would you be right now, yeah? Without love?
He's got a beautiful voice, love his voice.
Yonder goes Miss Lucy, down the railroad track, lost a home and a family, see she won't be coming back, baby, without love. Tell me, where would you be right now, yeah? Without love.
Oh, Pia means pain in the ass. I can't catch it.
Illinois Central to the southern Santa Fe. Keep on pushing, mama, cause you know that they're running late, baby, without love, I swear, child.
Sing, brother.
Oh, where would you be right now?
That's all good.
Without love. You got the Illinois Central to the southern Santa Fe. Keep on pushing, mama, cause you know that they're running late, baby, without love, I swear, child, oh, tell me, where would you be right now, yeah, without love? I say the pistons keep on turning and the wheels going round and round, and the rails so cold and hard, and while they're laying on that ground without love, I swear, tell me, where would you be right now without love? Tell me, where would you be, child? Tell me, where would you be? Tell me, baby, where would you be right now? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kevin Burt.
Yes, you are.
Hope you enjoyed the buffet this evening. Big thanks to Blue Moose. Till the next time we cross paths with one another, I want to encourage you to be good to yourselves and to other folks. It'll make your lives easier. Peace. I'm out.
My man. That man is bad man. I like that. Dang, that was good. Man, singing his ass off, playing the harmonica and the git fiddle all at the same time. Let me show one more for him, then I'm going to bring him on stage.
It's early in the morning, babe. Find myself, darling, thinking about you.
Sorry, Julie. I forgot that everybody else changed time. We've had a whole discussion about it. We'll move it back to you guys on the West Coast. You out there in Hawaii, so I know it's early.
And I'm way over here. Both of us, honey, we just sitting all alone. So won't you come on, see about me, baby? Maybe you and me, darling, we could get it on now. Come on, see about me, babe. Anytime, day or night. Come on, see about me. Oh, when you do that for me, girl, you know, yeah, you're making everything alright. I try just to mind my business, babe. Mine just keeps on drifting back to you. And all them good things, darling. All them good things I'm wishing you and me were doing. Oh, I'd like to get you in these loving arms and fill you with my loving charms. I squeeze you tight, honey, never let you go. And when we had enough of that good loving, baby, we just squeeze each other tight and give each other just a little bit more. Yeah, come on, see about me, babe. Anytime, day or night. Come on, see about me. Oh, when you do that for me, girl, you got it, yeah, making everything alright, yeah.
Happy birthday, Julie.
Find ourselves at the end of our day. And I'm just hoping and praying, darling, you might be thinking about me in the very same way. You see, it just don't make no sense to me, baby. The both of us are just sitting all alone. Whoa, but I don't want to hear the old dang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang. Now, baby. What I need from you right now, you can't get me on no telephone. Come on, see about me.
You get it on telephone, yeah. What you say, big dog?
Anytime, day or night. Come on, see about me. Oh, when you do that for me, girl, you know, yeah, making everything alright. Come on, see about me. You're my darling. And you sure enough know how to make my love light shine. Come on, see about me. I'm
hey, Chris, how you doing? Long time no here. Hope everything's all right, baby.
Glad that you're mine, oh mine, yeah.
Sweet. I like that. That's bad, man. Ladies and gentlemen, he's backstage, and since I'm already early, I ain't gonna make him hold out no longer. That was really country. Went no more longer. Good Lord. Uh, let's bring it to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Kevin Burt.
What's going on, Suge?
I'm gonna get country up in jam.
Hey, you do what you need to do, man. Life is good.
How you holding up, baby?
Man, I'm holding on with both hands, both feet, everything that I can get something wrapped around, man. I'm holding on with it.
I can dig it, dog. That's all any of us can do, man. It's good, man. You know, I'm trying to remember the first time we had. Where was it that first time we actually met? Was it in Vegas, or did we meet somewhere before that?
It's funny, man, because as soon as I got to Vegas, I got to Vegas. That was like one of the first big shows that I did after winning the Blues Challenge. All right, so
Okay.
nobody knew really who the hell I was, man.
Wait a minute. Before you go there, I didn't know you won the IBC. You won the IBC?
Yeah, that's what, like, I won the solo IBC, but I won it like nobody's ever won it before. So I swept all the solo categories. I won the overall, but I also got named the best harmonica player and the best guitarist. So
right on.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that, bro.
Yeah, so that's what.
Well, you deserve it. Listen to that voice and you're playing, and man, okay, I didn't mean to interrupt. That was just news to me. Go ahead.
No, that's what kind of vaulted me from being the guy that plays a whole bunch in Iowa and in about 4-hour radius. I trickle out every once in a while, but I was busy being a dad for 18 years, dad and husband, and so getting toward my girls getting ready to graduate from high school, they encouraged me along with some friends. A good buddy of mine, Ken Valdez, encouraged me to get into the Blues Challenge, and I did. And I messed around and won, and it poof! All of a sudden, I'm on an international stage, like boom. And when I got to Vegas, first thing that happened when I got to Vegas, somebody came up to me and goes, "Man, Sugaray, you were awesome." you were awesome in Portland. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not. I've never been to Portland, and I'm not Sugaray. And it'd been cool if it would have been just this, but like 6-8 other folks came up to me, "Man, Sugaray, can I get a picture?" I'm like, I got to meet this brother, man, because hopefully he's just really, really good looking, and folks didn't get a chance to get real close to him. And then I met you, and I'm like, I'm looking up at you because I feel like I'm about 12, 15 inches shorter than you. And I'm looking up at you, and I'm saying, how? Okay, we just big brothers, and we smile a lot.
That's it. That's it. The same thing happens to my boy Sean Holt. His dad from the Teardrops, but Sean Holt. Same thing would happen to him. Like, when we finally met up, he's like, "I'm finally glad to meet you, man," because I've been telling people call me Sugaray. Now, here was so funny. Kevin, when I'm around the world, people, and I'm walking around the streets and whatnot, in different places I can play, people don't call me Sugaray. They walk up to me like, "Hey, Shack."
I don't get that.
I know I'm big, but I ain't that big.
You ain't that big, man. People can't fathom how big that man is, man.
No, they can't. I played ball with that. Well, I didn't get to play ball with him. He came in the year we left, but people have no idea. When you talk about 7 foot 300-something pounds, I don't think 7'2", 300 and whatever he is. I don't think people realize just how big that is.
Yeah, I've crossed paths with a handful of 7-footers, man, and it's comical how much bigger they are than everyone else.
Yeah,
and so that's
you play ball, right?
Yeah, I played football.
You mind talking about it?
No, not at all, man. Not at all. No, I went to a small school in South Dakota, Huron University. I was an All-American center, and I was all-conference and all-district on both sides of the ball. Played center and nose guard.
Okay.
My true senior year of college, I was a preseason All-American. I had gotten letters from a handful of different pro teams that they had their eye on me, and the third play of my first game, I got my right knee dislocated, and it ended all of that
pipe dream. I kept
Oh
fighting
man.
for it though, man. I rehabbed. I came back the next year. I just never had that same explosion. I still ended up being, all conference on both sides of the ball, that kind of thing. I got an opportunity to try out for the Hamilton Tiger Cats up in Canada,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen. I got invites for open tryouts for a handful of different pro teams, but all I got was offers to be essentially on the meat squads kind of thing,
Yeah.
non-paid, non-rostered practice
Yeah.
teams.
Just
Uh,
beat you up.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I, it didn't that part of it didn't really appeal to me. So I decided I was going to go to school and move to Iowa City and get after my education. I put 7 resumes out and got offered 5 jobs. And so I said, screw school. And I just went and took all 5 jobs and just worked. At one of those jobs, my boss heard me singing in my office and was just like, damn, boy, you got a good voice. You need to come audition. My son is starting a blues band. You need to come audition. I'm like, whatever. I didn't think it was a thing.
Hmm.
And she invited me over for a fake dinner one night. Wasn't no dinner, but the band was rehearsing. And so she made me go downstairs and audition. And the next thing I know, I'm singing with a band called the Blues Instigators, man. And that's what got started for me. And that was about sneaking up on 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
It's amazing how people come to this music, man, because it was
yeah,
sort of like that. It was sort of like that for me, after the Marine Corps. I didn't play for probably 15, 18 years, then sing or play. I played drums, a little bit of keyboard, but I kind of like I was big in the gospel church for a while there, but I didn't see any future in it.
yeah,
So I joined the Marine Corps, and then just like you, I went to work. I was working. Matter of fact, I was working 3 jobs, and I used to be a cooler in a bunch of different clubs, and I had a bunch of bouncers working for me and all that. Ex-Marine, big. I was like, well, I can make good money that way. Yeah,
yeah,
dangerous
yeah,
work, but good money. So, I started my own bodyguard thing. That's what I was doing, man. And it was my wife one day. I happened to be in the club, and the lead singer for some rock band was trying to be funny and threw the mic to me. And as you know, a melody is a melody. I ain't got to know the song, but I can make something that's gonna work.
yeah.
So I did, and then people were just standing there looking at me, and it was funny. And my wife was the one at that time. She was just my friend. She's like, "You need to go do this." And I'm like, "Man, ain't no money in this. I got a job. I get out here at 3. I got to be at the daytime job at 7. So I ain't got no time." But she got in my heart and got in my soul and never gave up. So that's pretty cool, man. It's amazing how many times I've heard that cats that just like walked away from it, or not even that you walked away from it. It was a side thing just for.
Yeah. No, I went from 5 jobs in singing to 4 to 3 to 2. In that time, met Nicole, the person who would eventually become my wife, and she and I have been together. We just celebrated our 27th anniversary, man.
Oh man, congratulations, brother.
Thanks, man. And it's she was the one that encouraged me to just focus on music, and still does. I mean, she's the reason, and my girls and her are the reason that I get up and grind and do all of the stuff that needs to be done. But she was the reason that the opportunity actually got to exist. And it's just, you can't let somebody else have more faith in you than you're willing to have in yourself. That's that's the lesson that she's taught me over the years, man.
Yeah, I've told people many times that Pam believed in me before I believed in myself. And she never let it go. She would never let me, no matter what other jobs I did, she would never let me give up on the music. So
Yeah,
even now with what she's going through, she's right there, 100%. So that's you and I both are very lucky, brother, because I don't know about you, but I met a lot of musicians who it's the opposite. So
yeah, 100%, man.
we lucky. So, bruh, that voice, did you? This just being facetious. Did you start in church, or I mean, when did you start like harmonica and guitar and singing, and then when did you There's a lot of questions. When did you decide to put them all together? Come on, holler at me.
Well, it's weird. So when I quit my day job, my band, I didn't play any instruments. I just sang. And my band just kind of figured, well, he'll figure out how tough it is to be a full-time.
Uh-oh. What happened? Lost it. Uh-oh, I think his computer died on him. Damn. Damn. We're going to try to get him back. Wow, his computer died. Let's see if we can call him back. In the meantime, I play with a lot of bands around the world. Here's one for you. You guys check this out while I work on trying to get Kevin back.
Yeah. Oh, baby. It's going to get funky in here tonight.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to send this one out to all you big-legged women. Oh, it's going to be nasty. I believe it.
There he is. We lost you for a second, baby.
Man, I try and figure this thing out, man. I kept the link copied so in case something crazy tried to happen. So
right, smart man. You know,
something right for a change.
I've been trying to get my friend Mr. Judge Rawls on for like 8 months. He still can't figure it out.
Oh man,
it's been 8-9 months. All right, go ahead. So your band.
So my band thought, hey, it's gonna be tough. He's gonna, go back to his day job pretty quick. Well, in a short period of time, I had us booked 6 nights a week in a 4-hour radius. I mean, one cool thing about being from where I'm at in Iowa, 4 hours in any direction, man, you got major market cities. You got Madison, Wisconsin, you got Chicago, you got St. Louis, you got Kansas City, you got Omaha, you got Minneapolis, you got Sioux City, so you got big towns, all around. Not to mention there's 8 active blues societies inside the state of Iowa. And so there's lots of opportunities to work, lots of fans that are here. So I had us booked, 6 nights a week, and they kept their day jobs. That was the problem. And we were on our way back from I think we'd done a Wednesday night opener for Long John Hunter at Buddy Guy's Legends. And we were on our way home. Actually, I'll back it up. We're at the show. And for years, one of the first big shows that I ever did, I opened for Lonnie Brooks.
Okay.
All right. And that was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. One of the first shows that was put on by the Lynn County Blues Society was bringing in Lonnie Brooks. And I got to open for him with my band, The Instigators, the Blues Instigators. And so I'm in the green room at Buddy Guy's with Mr. Hunter, and in walks Lonnie Brooks. And he doesn't say hello. He just looks at me and goes, "Boy, what you doing here?" And I was like, "Well, I'm opening for Mr. Hunter." He goes, "Hey, Long John, you pick up a guitar yet?" I was like, "No, I still got my band." I chuckled. And he looks at Long John and goes, "Hey, Long John, tell this boy how you got started." And he goes, "Well, I took my girl to the juke joint, and she saw the dude on that stage playing that guitar, and she lost her mind." And I said to myself, I could do that. So the next day I bought a guitar, and the next Friday I was up there. I was like, that's cool. I got my band, And so they looked at each other like, okay, and kind of chuckled. On the way home from Chicago that night, it was like 3:00 in the morning. We drive, and the 3.5 hours it takes to get back to Iowa City. My band says, "We're done. Can't do this anymore," because they all had to be at work at 7. So I'm driving, I'm white knuckling. And so they quit on the way back. No more shows. And I get back to Iowa City the next day. I don't say anything to my wife. I get up and I leave the house early. I'm sitting in a little place. The place was called Baldy's at the time. And the guy, the manager and owner, walked by, and I said, "Hey man, you ever do music in here?" He goes, "I was too small for a band, but I'd let you play here. You do a solo thing?" I said, "I'm thinking about it." He goes, "When you want to do it?" I was like, "You tell me." He goes, "How about next Friday?" And I was like, "Okay." I finished my lunch. I got up. I went and bought a guitar, handful of harmonica, little PA. And I gave myself a week, and I figured out enough stuff to be able to play for 2 hours, and sing. I needed enough
Well,
noise to sing to.
had you always played guitar? Had you always played harmonica?
No,
See,
I
now you
had
make me
never
feel
done
bad. I
any.
got all the guitars and harmonica here. I can't do nothing with neither one of them. I need to pick one of them up and learn to do something. I've been
I'm
telling the
telling
guys I
you,
want to at least learn to strum a little bit,
no, it's not. It's one of the things that I teach my students is everybody gets caught up in what am I doing, and bottom line is all you really want to be able to do is play the song. So you just got to kind of let go of understanding why it makes the sound and just let it make the sound. Put your fingers where they belong, strum it. It's going to be exactly like every guitar I own sounds just like a guitar. Every harmonica I got sounds just like a harmonica. Now, if you want it to sound special, you got to put a lot more time in with it.
Yeah.
If you want it to sound real special, you have to be born Eric Gales.
It's funny. See, I know Eric. I know Eric from outside the blues world. So way back in the day when I was really into dancing, I used to be serious about dancing. When I was a young Marine, I was serious about dancing. I even went up dancing against MC Hammer's No Bones and all them cats. I was, really into break dancing, and dancing was my thing. I kind of left music, but I love dancing. And it was crazy. I remember meeting Eric and another cat that you need to know about named Jubu.
I've crossed paths with Jubu.
Yeah, Jubu, all of us know each other for about 20 years or more. So I met Jubu when Jubu was with Tony.
Yeah.
And Eric Gales was sitting with that one while. Then later he was with Lauryn Hill. So see, I knew him from the soul funk R&B hip hop world. And then later he turned up into the blues world. But that's kind of funny, But it's funny when I used to run the big super jam in LA. I have all these cats, Lukather, I can't remember my son calling names, Slash, Vivian Campbell, all these great rock guitarists. And they would come sit in and play and stuff. And Jubu would show up and Jubu would play. And then Jubu would take over the stage and just play by himself. And people, all these big rock guys would just be staring at his fingers like, man, the sound that this guy was making. Jubu's a bad mother, man. And I keep trying to get him to come over to the blues world, but he's been in there. He's been with Frankie Belvin Mays for the last 12, 13 years, but he does
I got a buddy like that up in Minneapolis, man. A fella named, we call him Devo. And Daryl McCrae is his name, man. He plays with Voices of Soul, and he was out with the Commodores for a long time, man. But his ability to play, it's just ridiculous, man. How good he is. I mean, I've been blessed to be around a handful of souls that are uniquely gifted.
Have you met my boy Rico?
I've not met Rico yet, man.
Rico's another one of them cats, man. I mean, we shared the drummer forever, because my old drummer LaBelle, who's been with me for 11 years, is gone now, going on to do something else. But he was with Lucky Peterson, and Rico was in that band for all the years. But
we may have crossed paths then. That's this thing, man. This journey's been a long one, man. It's just that all of a sudden it's on a bigger stage, man. It's just been a long journey.
It's always weird to me that I meet cats, and you one of those cats that I meet, and I'm like, man, why isn't this guy a household name yet? And blah blah blah. And it just takes time, and you did what I did back then. I had gotten really big in the San Diego scene. Everybody in San Diego knew who I was. That's where I was living, and I was playing all the shows in San Diego. Had a big corporate band, and then later I joined on Kids Boys, and then when Bam closed her private practice and moved to LA, that's when everything changed. That's when all of a sudden I was with the Imitation All Stars and the Managed Boys and all that, and then people kind of, you're the new thing, and I'm like, man, I've been doing this a long time. What do you mean new?
Yeah, I tell folks it took me 26 years to be an overnight sensation, man.
I got a song that was written by Arthur Adams called "Overnight Sensation." It's on my first album, and Eric is calling me. Let's see what he said. It's just that right there. People call you overnight sensation. Like, man, I've been working a long time to get to this point.
Yeah.
My mic is off. Eric, you said my mic is off. Let me double check. because I'm hearing it in my ears. But
I'm hearing it in mine, man. It's coming through for me.
yeah, he right though. He right. He right. It's coming through the what? 222. Now, how's that, Eric? That better? All right, cool. All right, thank you, man.
There you go.
Yeah. No, all right, man. So yeah, so long journey. You've been kicking hiney. Man, your music is crazy. So you've been writing originals, or you just still sticking with covers and stuff? You got any albums out there?
I've got two recordings that are out there in the big world. Over my career, I've recorded a bunch of just live CDs that were kind of my hustle. I had the setup at my house where I would, I have a duplicator and a printer, and so I would make my own
you
stuff.
Sound like me, man. I did all that, dog. God damn, you sound like me, man.
That was just my hustle. Kept me ahead of everybody around here, and kept it always fresh. And so I've got a bunch of that kind of stuff that I haven't broken into to release. Me as a much younger man, but getting the opportunity to record with the Little Village Foundation, Kid Anderson, Jim Pugh, all the folks out there, and then now
you know Jim.
Good
people, man. Hell of a player.
Yeah, man.
I've done a lot of stuff with them with the Phantom Blues Band. Him, Mike Finnegan, Larry Fulcher, my brother Tony Barnacle, Johnny Lee Schnell, all those guys. Yeah, amazing musicians, man.
All the folks out there, they're amazing musicians, but they're just great, like, people. I mean, they make you feel like this is a place that you've belonged in for the longest. Like I honestly, the first time that I went into Greaseland was really about my first time going into a studio with that mindset of this is going to be a full internationally released recording, So
so you recorded with my boy Kid him.
Yeah. So I mean, I got, I'm in there with my, looking at my watch for my experience in a studio, and here is Jim Pugh and Kid Anderson and Derek Martin and John Otis II and in walks Jerry Jamot, and I'm standing there slack jawed, and they're looking at me going, "Oh no, you write a good song and you sing like nobody's business. You belong here. Let's go. Let's get after it." And it was remarkably comfortable. And then, Mike Zito and Guy Hale invited me to be a part. Little Village Foundation is kind of a one and done label for you. Yeah. And so I got offered an opportunity to join Mike Zito at Gulf Coast. And, I didn't want to initially, but Mike is like the really the nicest person that you could find, man.
He's crazy as hell.
He's crazy, but he's just so freaking nice, man. And I couldn't figure out a way to not like him. And so, and then I met his family. I'm like, that does it, man. Game over. I'm in. Because that's the setting. I needed some place that understood I'm not doing this because I've got a big ego about this. I'm doing this because I know this can make a difference for my family. It could change how we're living. It could change, what we get the opportunities to do as a family collective. Right. I've been a hustler and a worker all my life, and what that's meant is I've missed out. If you're across the street or around the world, if you ain't home, you ain't home. Yeah. And the downside of being a musician at any point in time is when everybody comes home, that's when you walking out the door. Yeah. And so, I was at a lot of stuff, but I missed a lot of stuff at the same time with my family. And so, a lot of times, like, I'd go to festivals to perform, and that would become family vacation. Well, daddy's got to work. Y'all go sightsee and have fun, because I can't afford to bring us here. But since we're going to be here and they're paying me to be here, and I got this hotel room already covered, y'all go on and make some adventures happen.
And that's what you do. That is what you do. I mean, people sometimes come in, but before Pam got sick, people were like, Ray, Pam not here. And I'll look at them, I say, you got to understand, you just meeting me. I've been doing this for 20-something years, and my career pretty much bloomed overseas. So I was spending 4 to 5 months of the year outside of the country. And so I've been everywhere. Like I told people, the only continents, I haven't done Africa and I haven't done Russia, but pretty much everything in between, even the Far East, I've done it. And Pam is gone. And so it's at a point now where, Pam only comes if it's a place that she hasn't seen or she want to go. Like if I'm in Paris, even though I've been there a gajillion times, Pam coming. She coming to Paris, certain parts of Italy. But other than that, she's like, well, I done been there and done that. I love you. I got your back. You go ahead. I'm going to work, but we did the same thing. I was spending 3 months of the year in France for years. And, Pam will come go with me. She owned a private practice. She shut the practice down and come roll with me. So we've been there, done that, and I understand that. And that's a perk of being a musician. They already paying for the room. They flying you over. You just got to, sometimes, especially when you first start out, you got to pay for your missus. But still, that still is a fraction of what you would normally try to pay.
Absolutely.
If you was going to those places. So the career is jumping off now. You're doing real well. I mean, it's been hard. I mean, since COVID, I've basically done about 12, 13 shows, not many, but hopefully it look like next year I'm going to start running like I normally run. But how's it been for you, bro? How's it been through all this craziness, man?
It was nuts, man. Trying to find, the musicians assistance programs and those kinds of things that they say were out there. None of those things seem to matter for me, man. As I applied for the what was it? Initially they said, all you gotta do is say you're a musician and you'll get the unemployment. Well, I'm registered. My business is actually registered in the state of Iowa, and so I'm a business owner. I'm not an employee by their standards. So I had to apply. I couldn't get the unemployment, but so I had to apply for the PPP, the thing for the loans for the small business. Well, my business only employs one person, and so I didn't qualify there either. So I didn't qualify for any assistance at the time. Luckily, there were online shows and those kinds of things. People were very generous, and it was a blessing. But there were a few times, man, that things got remarkably bleak in my home, and my wife wouldn't let me go and get a job because I was ready to go and work at a grocery store and one of the places that was still open. I was just gonna go get a job, and she was just like, "No, we can't take a chance on you getting sick." Blah blah blah. And so everybody in my house kind of kicked in. Both my kids, my wife, we all just kind of rallied and made do. And again, the generosity of souls out there, that some of them we knew, some of them we didn't, every once in a while we get online and find out, oh, so sent us, a little bit of a blessing here. And that saved us. There was a small musicians fund that got started here in locally, and I'd get $50 to $100 just sent to me out of the blue from that little fund every couple of weeks, and those things made a difference. But as things have eased up, it's weird trying to get booked to get out on the road, because everybody still sees, they weird out because they go, well, your solo doesn't always work here. It doesn't work here. It's like, but I've never played there. You don't know if my brand of solo wouldn't work there. Right. Because when people see solo blues, they go, oh, it's this. It's like, no.
No, my problem is a lot like that, except for, I got a 7-piece band. Management, 2 booking agencies, one in the States, one in Europe. So the problem that I'm having is that if you're a 3 to 5 piece band, you seem to be okay right now. You can get some things done, but because of the expense and what I pay my guys and what it takes to get somewhere, it's been hard. For a while there before the pandemic for the States, trying to build my name in the States, I started playing a lot of club dates and stuff without concert anchor dates. But at the end of 2018 or 2019, well, I had like $65,000 in credit card debt, and then the same thing happened once the COVID happened. The problem was I'm a business owner, so my guys were able to get the unemployment, and then I'm lucky that even though I live in Arizona, I still have a home in California because Pam still works in California, so we keep a place there. And California changed the rules. And then I was finally able to get the unemployment because if it hadn't been for that, man, I would have brought in zero income the last 19 months. So, and then when I started the Suga Shack, people have been really nice, and they have, I want to give a big shout out to Barbara Ryan. Many times she and a bunch of others have put money on my books, as we used to say, put some money on my books, and people have blessed us. And I got to give a shout out to Joe Bonamassa. Joe sent me a $1,500 gas card and I think $1,000 check. And that came at a great time because, matter of fact, that was at the beginning of the pandemic, and I hadn't played for a few months because I was burnt out before the pandemic hit. I had said I'm gonna take some time off because I didn't realize. My wife was like, "Babe, you realize that in 18 years you've taken zero time off." And I played 150, 200 shows a year with a band that size. So I was rolling. And then she came down with the cancer, and COVID hit at the same time. So, and I had so I was just sitting there like, whoa, And we went and played Seattle and Walla Walla in the middle of the pandemic because I was like, we had already been off for 4 months, and I was like, well, we had set this up before the pandemic, and so we didn't, just before anybody even really knew what was going on. Right. Us and Marcus Miller were booked at the place called Jazz Alley in Seattle. It was, at that time, literally at that time, Seattle had just become the epic center of the, and I was like, and then here Pam's going through stem cells and all. It was crazy, man. It's been crazy. Yeah. And probably a few months after that, after sitting at home, is when I started the Suga Shack because I was like, man, I love people. I know all these cats. I need to connect with people. It was getting kind of crazy. I was going stir crazy. And I wanted to take a break, but I wasn't going to take a 2-year break. Right. And then everything kind of went really crazy because then I won the BB King Entertainer. I got nominated for a Grammy. I did all this stuff, but couldn't capitalize on it because couldn't go out and play.
Same thing. That's how my world was kind of moving. I was just getting into a place where people had heard of me, but they hadn't necessarily heard me. Yeah, they just heard of me, and my show is it's a weird beast, man. And I've if I hadn't lived this multiple times, I wouldn't say it like this. I have so many times been told I don't like blues, but I like what you do.
Yes, so many times. But you know what, man? A lot of blues cats. And I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm gonna say this: a lot of blues cats have forgotten to entertain.
Oh yeah,
they've gotten so just getting up singing is not entertaining.
Well, but the thing I run to,
that, and they don't know how to connect with the audience. And
absolutely,
people tell me that all the time. Like, man, I didn't know I liked the blues. They'll come up to me, I didn't know I liked the blues. I'm like, yeah, you like the blues. If you've been listening to just 3-piece bands, and I'm not knocking a 3-piece band. And then you see my show, with backup singers and B3s and horns and blah blah blah. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and the absolute converse. If you're used to it being really guitar driven and really, or even harmonica driven, or instrument driven, and not story and connection driven.
But that's because I have always said the problem that has happened with the blues over the last 25 years is you have a lot of great guitarists, great harmonica players, great B3, blah, 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 who also sing.
Yeah.
Not very many who actually sing and then do the others. And blues is a music that is about the story. And you can be a great guitarist, but if you don't have the vocals and the vocal acuity to actually deliver the story, then you're missing 80% of what the blues is all about.
Well, I was blessed kind of right as I was getting started with the solo stuff. I was blessed with the opportunity to be involved in some stage productions of some plays. I got to play a part in here at the University of Iowa. I got to play the part of Whining Boy in August Wilson's piano lesson. And I had to learn how to play enough piano to get to fake it, and then act, along with it.
You sure we not kinfolk?
We could be, man.
Because it kind of happened to me that way quite a little bit after with the Managed Boys. I became a equity member, but I became, started doing plays. I got Low Down Dirty Blues with the original 4-time Tony nominated cast. It was my first play, and I got the lead role, and I'm in Portland, Oregon for 4 months doing this play with all these cool Tony Award. Yeah. And then later, Ain't Nothing But the Blues and all these other ones that I wind up doing. And I tell people, I said, them theater people work hard, but I loved it. It was a whole different.
Oh, it's another thing, but it changes your perspective on, in stage acting, you don't make a move without there being a reason for it to happen. Why did you walk across the stage? What was your point? What were you trying to? Were you trying to create a visual line? Were you trying to draw some emotion? I got to get away from this person. What was the reason for you doing this? And I apply that thought process a lot of times to the dynamics of my songs, to the order of my songs, to try and help the story and the connection with the audience. There's a flow that happens, and when you have an entertainer that's doing that versus really good music just playing in the background, it changes the feel of the space. It gives you permission to have those goosebumps. It gives you permission to enjoy the experience and walk away with a story to tell versus walking away and saying, "Man, that was really good. Who wants sushi?"
Yeah, no, you know what? Christina Beer, how you doing? It is that way. Matter of fact, Patricia Gleason says, let's see what Patricia said. Patricia says, she said, but you can play guitar, but a lot don't seem to put their heart into the music. And but you have to understand that if you're a guitar player first instead of a singer first, your thought process is playing those guitars. It's about playing those guitars, and you lose, in my opinion, you lose what the blues and soul music R&B is about. You lose the story. Yeah. It should be the vocals first, and then if you're a great guitarist, bring that on. But it's got to be the vocals. And what I mean by vocals is you have to inhabit the song vocally. Well, this is the oratory music. Go ahead.
Well, the thing that gets lost is that blues is Black people's folk music.
Yes, it is.
We have the only folk music that other cultures kind of sneak into and then say, I can do this just as good as you or better. Yeah. It's the only one. You don't have a group of Mexican cats running off to Germany talking about, let me show you what polka is really about. Just doesn't happen that way. And so because this is an American born thing and because, as it's available to everybody. However, I can't sing the songs of Booker White and the songs of Reverend Gary Davis in a way that is believable because I didn't live their experience. However, if I can apply their words to my experience and their words connect to my soul, and I give you that story right back, it's going to be different than they told it, but it's not going to lose its credibility.
But not only that, I think that it doesn't lose the what is it I'm trying to say?
Sincerity.
The sincerity of it. That's the thing. To me, I mean, it is. It's the sincerity of it.
I know what it feels like to have a broken heart. you know. So I can sing those songs really well. I know what it's like to wake up and feel joyous. I can sing those songs very well. You know, I know what it's like to yearn for somebody or something. I can sing those songs. I can give you that story like nobody's business. You know, but there are some things that are out there that I can't touch. You know, they just are. And so
No, I can dig that. Sorry, so what happened here? Hold on a second. No, well, did I? Hold on a second. Where you go? There you go. I don't know what that was. Give me a second.
and I'm back.
It's all this modern technology, baby. All right,
It'll
I
get
want to
you,
play. Look like Jason Richards finally on, but I want to play.
Jason, what's up, man?
I want to play one more song from you, and I'm just trying to make sure that I got the right one. I don't want to play one I already played. Let me see. Did I just play this one?
You played, let's see, Come On See About Me from the Fairfield Arts.
Is that one? Let me see. I just played that one, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one you just played.
All right, so I want to play, I think it's this one here.
You did Long Train Running before.
Did
before
Long
that
Train
one.
Running. I had a third video I wanted to play of you. But don't pay me no mind.
I ain't mad at it.
Keep on talking because the people want to hear you.
Well, you know, one thing that I will say, you know, that's kind of beautiful, man, is that there's so many different ways to deliver the story. And I think that's the thing that makes blues an appeal to everybody is that, you know, it's like when I do the blues in the school, I do a blues in the schools program. One of the things I try and get the kids to connect with is I tell them that music is kind of like a buffet. You know, if you go to a buffet and you just get the chicken fingers all the time from the buffet, there's no point in going to the buffet. The buffet is there so you can try a whole bunch of different stuff that you don't normally get a chance to put on a plate together.
I'm gonna have to call Big Mama and make sure that we ain't kinfolk because there ain't no damn way that you laughing. I'm serious as hell.
Hey man, you know
we think so much alike about this medium.
Yeah,
that
man.
It's kind of scary. I mean,
but it's beautiful.
The things
man.
you were saying, the things that I've been saying for Jesus Christ, for years.
Well, but that goes to show you that, you know, the thought process is when you are submersed in this, it's not a truth that you just know. It's a truth that you learn over time, you know, and through experience. And I didn't feel this way about music when I was a younger man. I just, you know, there was old folks music and then there was what I listened to.
Right.
And what I listened to was cool. But as I gained an appreciation for all of this, I realized that all of it's, if it moves my soul, that's really all that matters. You know, music I like, music I don't like, you know, but there's certain types of blues that I can't connect to. But there's certain blues that you know, when from the first time I heard it, I'm hooked, but that don't mean I'm going to be any good at it. You know
what I've learned is, or what I take into heart is, B.B. King said he liked all music. And what he meant by that, what he said, he clarified, he said, it don't mean I'm going to play everything. It don't mean that I'm going to listen to everything. He said, but I can find something that I like about all music. And that's pretty cool. But you know, sometimes people have to realize that just because you like it don't mean that you can, because my show is like going to church. I mean, I don't sing nothing that I haven't lived or I don't believe in.
Yeah.
And if you ever see me playing and singing, you know that I'm giving all 6'5", 300 pounds of my soul into every performance. You know, people are like, dang, Ray, you got a lot of energy, you moving around. I'm like, I'm moving around because I'm really loving what I'm doing. And I'm believing what I'm doing, and there's a synergy there. I'm not faking I'm not just singing a song to sing a song, you know. And
It's
some
not
people
just the
they come up to me,
words.
they're like, man, it's like we went to church. And I'm like, it should be that way because this is soul music. Blues is soul music. What I mean by that is music from the soul. Not only that, I have this pride and this fear. And what the pride and fear is, I'm from East Texas, and we're singing to the ancestors, and we're singing about the ancestors. And whether you believe in death and reincarnation, all that, I don't want to get to wherever I'm going. And the ancestors are sitting there looking at me, going like,
Yeah.
you know, that's all black folks gonna say when it's other black folks. They gonna all that extra talking that the young people do. That's for crap. The old sisters gonna look at you and they just say,
See,
and that spoke volumes.
so this is I'm gonna say this, man. This is exactly what I told my daughters on the first time that they was going out to hang out with their friends. I was like, listen, not gonna tell you not to do anything that you're about to go out and do, because you need to do what you need to do. But before you make the decision to just get into something, do me a favor. You know, me and your mama got your back, and all the folks that love you got your back. You look over your shoulder, and are we looking at you saying, go ahead, baby? Or are we all looking at you going, That's exactly what I told my daughter.
Wait a minute, Kevin. I want to get one more video for you. Let me get one more video for you. Hold on, don't go nowhere. That is a mother, ain't it?
It is, man. It gets you every time, man.
Baby, no love, honey, don't you know you mean the world to me? Baby, you're my sunshine, you're my rain. Don't you know that you're my joy and you're my pain? But I want you to know right now, baby, it ain't been no sunshine in my life ever since you, ever since you, baby, ever since you went away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Lord knows that she's always gone too long, yeah. Anytime my baby go away, wonder this time where she's going. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away, and I know, hell, lady, young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. Lord, ain't no sunshine when she gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. Lord, no, she's always gonna do love. Anytime my baby go away, I said I wonder this time where she goes. I wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she gone. Oh no, this house just ain't no home. Oh no, anytime way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no. I know she used to squeeze me. I know she used to tease me. I know she used to please me, please me, please me, please me, please me. Oh, I know that I need me, yeah. I know I ought to her. I know that I got to, and I know I just don't want to. I know, 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 I Hey, only the young think alone, yo. But ain't no sunshine when she goes. Yeah. Oh Lord, ain't no sunshine when she goes. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she goes, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, anytime she goes away, anytime my baby, oh my lady, oh she goes away. Oh, anytime my baby goes away. Every time she goes away,
Can't hear you, man. I can't hear you.
Yep, it's saying that.
There
That's
it is.
because I'm muted. I told you way too many buttons and too many cameras going on. But I'm gonna get it. Man, Kevin Burt, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kevin Burt. This is my brother here. My brother from another mother. Might be the same mama. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and do my ancestry DNA and check up on this brother because it don't make no damn sense, as the old folks would say. I can't call it.
Hey man, we just know next time that we in the same space, we gonna hit the stage together. That's the one thing that we haven't done yet. Testing, 1, 2, 3, do da.
There we go.
Making sure you're hearing me. We got to make sure that the next time we in the same area together, man, that we hit the stage together. Because that's, I don't know. Number one, I'm not sure that the stages are ready for that much man in the concentrated space.
I like where you put that.
However, you know, we should put them through that challenge, man. Because first time I heard you, I was just like, oh yeah, see. We could just tear this whole place down, man. Wouldn't nobody else want to hear nobody else sing after that. We can lay it out. Yeah, we just make it happen, man. But I like I said, I'm a fan, and I'm getting the opportunity to just sit and have a conversation with you, man. It is a blessing, man. I knew we'd have some similar thoughts in our souls, man, but this is kind of wonderfully cool, man, to just know that this connection is for real, man. And so thank you for inviting me to be here at the Sugar Shack with you, man.
Man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you were feeling under the weather. I know you had that ear problem going on with the cold and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I for me, when people take time, it means a lot. So thank you for spending the time. And like I said, we usually get around 3,000 views of the videos by the end of the week, and so hopefully a lot of people who did not know you now, and we got them to get a chance to be a fly on the wall and see how we do it and what we be talking about and how musicians hang. Matter of fact, before you go, don't go nowhere. Kevin Burt, I think Eric had already put up his social media stuff. And,
everything for me is at Kevin Burt Music, Facebook, Instagram. I do believe even Twitter is at Kevin Burt Music. And if you want to reach out to me through my website, Kevin Burt Music, www.kevinburtmusic.net is where you track me down on the web. But otherwise, yeah, just reach out. Brother's always open to travel. I've got a handful of things that are going to be coming up. Doing some shows with next month with Mr. Bobby Rush out on the East Coast.
Oh, righto.
Yeah, man. I got the opportunity this past October. Yeah, I was given from the Just Blues Foundation. I was awarded the Bobby Rush Entertainer Lifetime Achievement of Entertaining Award. And
congratulations, brother.
Yeah, man. And it just so happened the day that they sent me the award, I was opening for Bobby Rush in Cedar Rapids. So I actually got the opportunity to get that award signed by Bobby Rush.
Right on. And Mr. Rush is a cool cat, man. I love sitting down talking to him, man.
Man, every time I've gotten an opportunity to cross paths with folks that I have admiration for, they've given me that one little nugget that it takes, that one little nugget of wisdom that takes me someplace else, gives me, I always tell the folks that are younger than me when they ask me for advice, it's like, always understand, man, the people around you already know the secret to walking on water is knowing where the rocks are,
Right on.
And so,
right. I like that.
So understand, the reason we know where the rocks are is because we got wet. We're gonna try. We trying to help you to not just get wet, man. You're going to,
yeah.
But don't forget what them other rocks was, man. Never forget what them other rocks was. Because I'm not trying to tell you how to do it, or that you have to do it this way. I just don't want to see you get wet. And
right
so,
on, brother.
So yeah, I mean, we can all look like we're doing something special. But bottom line is I didn't get here because I knew where all the rocks were. Somebody showed me where some rocks was and said, hey, big fella, step over here now step over there. Now but I want to step over bloop, okay, I'm out now. Here we go. I'm back over here. I see.
Hey, well, listen, before you go, let me bring this cat up real fast. I want to introduce you cats. Hold on a second. 3, 2, 1. Jason Richard, Kevin Burt, Jason Richard.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going on, brother, man? Jason and I we're on the same record label now, man.
Oh, y'all all under Gulf Coast? He was trying to get me on that. We never know what the future gonna hold. We'll see what happens. We might be family before you know it.
Hey, man, that would be a beautiful thing. I run around the planet, man, and on my license plate it says Big Love, man. And I always tell folks that, it's one thing to, tell everybody in the world that the world's a better place if you show everybody that you care. It's another thing to prove it all the time as best that you can. And Jason and I, we've crossed paths for years, but not really met, kind of thing. And he had a situation crossing through Iowa, and somebody he knew reached out to me, and we were able to get it taken care of right away, man. And you know, I'm so glad that I've gotten an opportunity to meet this powerhouse, man, of a soul, because I've not met anybody that's more genuine with who they are and what they do than Jason. You know, and I'm learning lessons from you every time I get a chance to sit in your space, man. So you got big love for me all the time, man.
Dude, back at you, bro. Yeah, what he's talking about, Ray, is he hooked me up with his mechanic at like no notice at all, and like had never met me and went like out of his way within minutes to like get our car fixed at ridiculously, because they love him so much. They just hooked me up, and I got a picture taken with him with the license plate that says Big Love, right? Like immediately. And then we were at the Bender together, and like I just saw like that video you just played of him just going off. Like he's like Kevin's like the Rasan Roland Kirk of vocal. Right?
Okay, all right.
Dude, I mean, like, bro, it's a journey, man. Like, listening to you sing it's not just about the notes. It's like, bro, you go places and you're like, how's he gonna get out of this? And then it's just unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable, right? Definitely.
Yeah. I know. I've seen the cat. Like I said, we've sat down. Well, not really sat down, but we've talked while we stand in the middle of the casino and hung out and stuff. And I love the cat. I love this spirit. You know, which is the biggest thing for me from day one. And love this old lady. Both of them were just salt of the earth. I felt they were just salt of the earth people. So we're gonna let Kevin go. Kevin, again, from the bottom of my heart, brother, thank you for taking the time. You know, it's greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Tessman put up his credentials. That's Mr. Kevin Burt. B-U-R-T.
Big love, everybody.
Big love. Big love, Kevin. Holla at you, man. Stay strong, and hopefully we'll share the stage together somewhere soon.
I'm looking forward to that, man. Peace.
Me too, brother. Me too. Peace. All right. Let me get over here. All right. We're gonna pull Kevin down. All right. Kevin, you backstage, but thank you, brother. You can hang around if you want to. It's up to you. Jason, what's going on, man? I'm sorry, dude. I forgot that daylight savings times that changed. You know, times don't change here in Arizona, so this might not working good. I started at noon my time, which is actually 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So this actually worked out really good. And Kevin came on early, so I totally forgot about it. And I was yelling at my producer Eric Sassman, like, "Where you at?" He's like, "You early, an hour early." I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's 12 o'clock."
Oh man, I'm so glad it works out.
It did.
I was running over with a Skype student, and I was like stressing out. I was trying to get him off the call so I could get over here.
No, it was
I
good.
didn't even know I was potentially hours late already.
No, you right on time. It was just me starting early. So
okay, good.
It wound up working good. All right, I'm gonna pull you backstage. I want to play some music by you, and then we'll get into it, baby.
All right.
Hang out. All right. I'm starting to get all these buttons together, y'all. Suga's trying to do it. Check this video out. I picked this one up. I thought this was cool. Here's Jason Ritchie. Maybe. Let's see if it's going to play. All right, here we go with some monsters.
Walk with me, girl, when I talk to me. Hey, baby, I can't do it by myself. But if you don't help me, you don't go to find somebody else. Do it!
I didn't realize Rico was in this video. Willie J. Laws. Later, baby. Kimpo. Jason, who's that singing on that? Oh, wait a minute, I can't hear you. Who is that? Oh, that's Sugar Blue, ladies and gentlemen. Sugar Blue singing. Sugar Blue. See, I don't mind. If harmonica's gonna be playing like that, then I want to sing. had the Burt, Mike and Wendy. I love them. Did everything I could to make sure that place had great players coming through.
I can't do it all by myself. You gotta help me. I can't do it all by myself. You don't help me with blue will walk back to Chicago. Find yourself somebody. When I walk, you walk with me. When I talk, you talk. Whoa, yeah. I can't do it all by myself. You don't have to with a blue, we have to find yourself somebody else. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got to come and see me as soon as you can. Help your daddy now. Come on and help that baby now. Come on and help that.
This is one of Randy's favorite songs. Randy Short song.
I'm gonna buy me an airplane, fly all over town. Ain't gonna quit now, I'm gonna hang up poor man now. Help me, baby, now. Come on and help me. You got to help your daddy now. I'm gonna find somebody else.
I heard you can't vote. Willie J. Long. right. Damn. you don't need an introduction, brother. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jason Ritchie, my home slice. What up, peoples?
Hey man, thanks, Ray. That was great to watch that, man.
I played a different one earlier. It was a skinny version of you way back.
Yeah, there's lots of versions of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, brother, that's life. We all go through it, man. The main thing is we make it on this side of it. We still on this side of the grass. There's always a chance to change things. So
that's it. That's it.
Right on. How you doing, brother?
Man, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I'm making it through this okay.
You're doing all right. Okay. I know.
Yeah,
I know you just finished the Skype lesson. It's been crazy. I'm doing all right. Main thing is just trying to make sure that mama make through it. It's been I've had the triple whammy on this thing, but I'm on this side of the grass. It's gonna be all right. And as my grandma used to say, I ain't no easy win. So I'm gonna keep on fighting. So beautiful. I'm gonna be all right. And the fans and everybody have definitely helped me through all this. So absolutely. I know you just finished a lesson. So thank you for doing that. Taking time out your busy day, brother. So how you been, man?
I've been great. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm watching that video, and I'm hearing the harmonica and stuff, and it's great. The band Rico, right?
Rico McFarland.
Yeah, but and I'm thinking and I'm watching Kevin before and you talking to Kevin, and I'm thinking about how much this whole business has really been about relationships for me. And I heard you talking about your ancestors, seeing your ancestors in heaven and stuff. And just, for me, being on stage with Billy and Sugar was kind of like that, right? It was like, I didn't want to get a, I didn't want that. I didn't want that, I've been around enough black people to know what means. But
the Black Dictionary just
Yeah. And you're right. It's usually older black women that do that. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you the scenarios in which I got that, but yeah.
Hey, brother, I've gotten a few of them, man, through the church. I used to tell them the one thing, the people like, man, they would tell me, man, you feel so comfortable on stage. And usually, blah, blah, blah. I say, I came up through the church. I came up through the crucible. And I try to explain to people what that means. Like, where I grew up, everybody could sing, everybody could play. You had to have that extra thing. But them sisters, they come up and tell you in a heartbeat. They wouldn't hold it back. They could baby. Now, not everybody's supposed to sing. Some people supposed to be the usher. So by the time I got out of the church, I was ready for the world, baby.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's a major. I lived in Jackson, Mississippi for a little while, and my main guy that I looked up to there was Eddie Cotton.
Oh yeah,
and Eddie is the son of the musical director for the Jackson, Mississippi Gospel Church, which is like in Jackson, gospel music's like a full contact competitive sport, right?
Well, it was that way all the way through Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. My mass choir IYC was 315 choir members. I remember many shows going up against the Mississippi Mass Choir, who I just adored, and it was definitely a full contact sport, brother.
It's incredible. And I got to play with so many musicians that came out of that. And you're right, man. People could play everything and everybody could sing. And it was a totally different, way than I grew
world.
up.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up Catholic and Episcopalian, which some people call the frozen chosen, right? So we just sit in church, we sing some.
The frozen chosen. All right. I worked with the Catholic Church some years back. They was having what they call the charismatic movement. And so I worked with the young people doing the charismatic movement. It was weird to see Catholic folks speaking in tongue and stuff, and they were Catholic in the charismatic movement. My sound company, we used to do stuff for them over at the Anaheim Convention Center and whatnot. That was crazy. But man, Jason, I've known you for a while. I think we first met during the Delta Groove days. I want to say it might have been before that, but
no, that's exactly it. You were in the studio. You were singing that song about the giant. What was it? You did it? You do it?
Oh God, yeah, you do it. Yeah, old James Brown cut.
And I was just watching. Was that the one about the giant? About the giant? Yeah.
Yep.
And I was just watching like.
Damn, you remember that?
Yeah, man. And like you were like, I mean, you were like acting it out. Like it was all like, you remember earlier when you said you don't sing anything that you can't like identify with in some way or another? Like I could see that. Like I was sitting in the control room with Kirky.
Yeah,
or not the control room, the ISO booth, one of the ISO booths, the big one. And I was watching through, but I could hear it over the speakers. And man, I mean, you were just killing it. And I was just like, damn, like Randy found a good one, you know.
Randy. You know, Randy was something else, but I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for him. So maybe I would have, but he circumvented the climb to the hill quite a bit. He did me straight, you know.
For me too. You know, that was a crazy relationship that that I had with him. But he was always there for me when it mattered, and he cared about me a lot. You know, but you know he was a crazy dude too.
Yeah, he was a crazy dude. You know, but he loved harmonica. And you know that was his thing, and you know, matter of fact, I think on that album was you and James Harmon and Rod Piazza and somebody. Was it RJ Michaud?
RJ, I don't know if RJ was on that or not. I don't remember him,
but I know it was you, and I know Rod Piazza, and I know Harmon.
Harmon, yep. And Kirky was in there, and Jimmy Bott on drums, and I wasn't Mike Finnegan playing piano on that.
He might have been. I think it was Fred Capel.
Okay.
Fred, I think it was.
Yeah,
Fred.
that was a cool record. You know, once a year, you know, Cholo and I, once a year.
That's my boy, man.
We grab Avos because you know Randy loved the Avos cigars.
Yeah, no, he keep. I go whenever I go to his house, I go in his humidor and steal his Cohibas though. So,
hey, who got all those cigars?
I have no idea because I asked his daughter, I asked Josh, I asked a few people because I like the humidor. Can I come pick it up?
That would be a shame if those all dried out, man.
That would be. You know, Randy was crazy though. I mean, we were playing Beirut. We were in Beirut, and he bought like 4 boxes of Cubans. And you know, he loved his Xanax. You know, we were flying, he get nervous, so he take his Xanax. He got off the plane and left the 4 boxes of Cubans in the overhead bin. And I was just sick, just like, we got to go back and try to get them. You know, he's like, don't worry about it. I was like, Randy, that's Cubans, man. We got, you know, crazy.
Man, but, you know,
I didn't know, all this time, I didn't know you was a cigar guy. You know, I've always been a cigar guy, and I didn't even know that until a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, like I had some like, you know, like I would see you at festivals and stuff, and I always saw in your pocket you had, you know, at least 2 or 3 cigars, right? You know, and I always meant to talk to you about it, but I was always talking about music or performance, or you were with somebody else. The other thing is, I would always get in trouble at festivals for smoking cigars. Like Geneva Magnus like yelled at me one time, right? And so like I started like, and just recently I got in trouble too. I was like 50 feet away from the stage. And
dude, if it's an outdoor concert, I smoke mine on the stage. I think being 6'5", don't nobody come say nothing to me. So I just like I'm smoking my cigar, you know, like you know, this is me. Y'all know me, sugar. I'm gonna come, I'm gonna sweat, and I'm gonna smoke a cigar.
Right. Put it in the rider. It's got to be in the rider, right?
You laughing? It is in my rider. So when I'm overseas, they always have a bottle of cognac and a few cigars for me backstage. It's actually in my rider. And they started to do it here in the States too. Hey.
But I really got crazy the last 2 years with the cigars, with the pandemic, you know. Because my first cigar was in 2006. It was a 601 blended by Pepin, right? Before my father, before any of that stuff, right? And funny enough, it was a Connecticut that I fell in love with. And then then I was into it for years. I would smoke with Randy, smoke with Cholo on the road and stuff. But all I ever had was one of these, a little travel humidor that I'd put 7 or 8 in. And then this last year, I started getting so many that I had to get a big humidor.
I saw your humidor the other day. I was jealous. You know, I have 3 smaller humidors. I look at that thing. I was like, I mean, somebody blessed you. Tell a story about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. So there's a student of mine named Tom Watson, who's a doctor down in Florida, who's been actively involved in the harmonica community in Florida. And he got into playing harmonica. We started working together, and he's a cigar smoker. And so is his wife. And every single night they have cigars. So anyway, my my collection started growing, because I like to, some of them I found are better if you put a year or two on it.
Yeah,
right?
and some of them need to be. It's like a good wine. Some do need to be aged. Yeah.
Yep,
definitely.
I find the ones like the certain Corojo wrappers, certain Habano seed wrappers, they're a little acidic or spicy depending upon where they're grown.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, we're getting crazy already.
It's all
right?
about, dude. It's about the soil. That's why I try to tell people. It's not about a price. It's about a taste and soil. That is what it's about.
Right. I think like I even have a theory that like for my personal taste, like Esteli is a little further south than Yalapa.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the same seeds, Corojo or Habano seeds that are grown in Yalapa, to me, have a sweeter, creamier taste, right? So, but anyway, if I get one that is grown in Esteli that's a little acidic and I let it sit for a year or two, it's better. Like a Monte Cristo Platinum for me is good after a year or two, right? I mean, like more than good. Like,
and you know what's so weird? It took me a while to realize that because I would get some cigars, like when I'm in Switzerland, I can't think of the name of the brand. Studs.
Is a Cuban brand?
Not Macanudo, but it's
not a Monte.
Not a Monte Cristo, not a Macanudo.
Partagas.
No, that's my favorite stick. Partagas number 4. But anyway, the factory is in Switzerland, and whenever I play, they always show up at the shows with me a case. And what I learned about those is at first I didn't appreciate them. I was like,
yeah.
But once I let them age a little bit, and then I cheat too. See, I'll put one humidor. I got like slices of apple in it. There's another one. I put a thimble of a good cognac in there so that it kind of flavors it a little bit. But that's my thing. But listen,
no. I live in New Orleans. My neighbor.
My favorite city. My favorite city in the world, right?
Oh man, you got to come. We got a room for you, bro.
Dude, I'm there 3 or 4 times a year.
Everything.
Where I went to school. This is where I got married. This is my favorite city in the world.
All right, hold on a second. I got to tell this student I'm running late. Hold on. Right on. All right. I just told him running late big time. All right, so gonna be a while. All right.
Well, if you got to go, I don't want to.
There's nothing else I want to do. I can always reschedule. All right.
All right.
Yeah, no, like definitely. In New Orleans, like there's a whole separate like black cigar culture here.
Yes, there is.
Right. And my neighbor, Aaron Washington, he has a cigar company called Safari Smokes, and they specialize in all kinds of infused cigars as well as regular standard cigars and everything.
Well, when I say infused, I don't want them to, I don't want to get it should have just a hint of the cognac, I don't like sweet cigars.
Not infused, but but he does all kinds of crazy stuff like that, which I didn't know about until I moved here and kind of started seeing what was going on.
Right on. There's a place right there on the main street across, not too far from where the zoo is, behind the cathedral there, that those guys hand roll. And they're a bunch of Cuban guys, and they hand roll right there. And I always go there. Or my favorite spot is a little spot down off of Bourbon. I can't remember what's the cross street, but it's right on the corner there. The hotel I always stay, and it's a small cigar shop. But when I'm there, the guys over at WWOZ always find out that I'm in town. But
nice, man. That's a huge compliment.
I'm usually in there hiding in that place and just, they know me and my picture's up on the wall, it's like, hey, Sugar, I come back because I'm there all the time, dude. So, but look, man, I love the way you play. I always have loved the way you play. You play harmonica like no one else, which is amazing. Your thought process behind the harmonica is just got to be crazy. I never got that chance to ask you, how did you get started with it, bro?
So I was in like a punk band, right, as a kid, and I was singing, but the guys, I wasn't a good singer, right? I was in the lyrics, right? And the guys in the band started singing too, so I was getting benched. So I got a harmonica just to do something, right? And like I played guitar, but like they knew that I would like ruin the song if I played guitar, right? they gave me the harmonica because like I could only mar it, right? So then anyway, it turns out my guitar teacher also taught harmonica. So he got me going on the basics. And then he told me, he's like, listen, after a month or so, he's like, hey, listen, James Cotton's coming to, and this is in Maine, right, where I'm from, like basically Canada, right?
Yeah.
He's like, Cotton is coming, and you should ask your mother if she can take you. So I went home and I was like, hey, Mom, can we go to the show? And I just figured she was going to say no or whatever. And she's like, oh, yeah, I love James Cotton. So I was,
wow.
Yeah, because she's a 60s child. So she had seen that kind of like cross blues pollination that happened with like all them, with Janis and Albert King and Buddy Guy and the Butterfield Band and all of that stuff, and Clapton, Blind Faith, and the Animals with Sonny Boy and Howlin' Wolf with the Rolling Stones. And she had Wolf records and stuff that I didn't even know she had, right?
Wow.
Until so she started taking me to those shows. And so I saw, Buckwheat Zydeco right away. I saw Cotton, I saw Buddy and Junior, Charlie Musselwhite, all that stuff. And then I
think one of the greatest conversations I had was with I was in Lucerne, Switzerland, during the Lucerne Festival one time, and it was me, Cyril Neville, and Buckwheat, and man, they made me feel really good. As I said, talking about the ancestors, they gave me some love. So did Otis Clay. Whenever I would see him, he'd pull me aside. And him and Johnny Ross called me Young Buck, and I got trapped. I got trapped one night in Puerto Rico with Johnny Ross, Otis Clay, and Scrap Iron. and I couldn't leave, and I was just like, "Oh, it got crazy, bro." But that's a whole nother story.
I know it did, especially with Johnny Rawls. I know.
Yeah, Johnny, the only man I know that got 50 bands. Johnny said, "I got 50 bands." I got a band in every state. I don't travel nowhere. I just call him like, "Damn, Johnny."
That's great.
So go ahead. So that was your start, and
then I had no intention of doing this for a living. I went out to college in Idaho. I was going to major in wildlife management. So I wanted to be initially I wanted to do some like high end shit, like be like a captive breeding for endangered species, right? Like
right on.
Put more wolves around and shit like that. But I wasn't smart enough. Just point blank, it was like, that's like the NBA or the NFL of biology, right? And I didn't know that. And I wasn't going to make it through botany and calculus. It wasn't going to happen. So then I kind of downgraded to well, maybe I'll be a park ranger, right? And grow weed and ride a horse around and stuff like that, right? Something like that, right? And then and then I found a blues club. And I started hanging out there, and they let me in. I wasn't old enough. They were paying me $10 to be there every week, so it was legal for me. And I had to sit on the stage when I wasn't playing, or go outside. And I was hired to check IDs before I was old enough to be in there to see the shows. And that was a place called the Blues Bouquet. It was run by Ken Harris. John Namath was 16 at that time in Boise. Right. Okay. And it would come around too. So we were kind of the same age coming up together. And and then I just liked it. I started getting paid eventually. They were very strict and very hard on me, which is great. And I thank goodness for that. I feel like that's sort of gotten lost a little bit in the world today. And, they would tell me straight up, there were weeks I was supposed to have played a song. I would come in, he would say, take me out in the alley or in the office and say, play it for me, without the music, just note for note all the way through. And I'd get a bar in, and he'd be like, yeah, it's not going to work. We'll see you next week. And send me home. Right. And then I'd have it the next week after that, or as soon, or I wouldn't come back till I thought I did, and I'd get mad, I was a kid, I'd get mad and stuff, but it was it worked, So eventually
the old guys are different. When I met Cal David used to run the blue guitar, and on Mondays he used to run a jam out in Palm Springs. And so I started going out there with my buddy Michael Mose, and Tower Power, you name it, everybody named Mother, because Cal used to be with Chicago and a bunch of other people. They all, how it goes. Everybody know each other. So when they would come through town and whatnot, they'd all go over to Cal's place. So, it was funny because people would spend $250 to see somebody the week before at some big venue, and then, they'd be at Cal's in 3 days for free, because they knew Cal just come in playing. But Cal was the first time I saw And Cal David, I love Cal David and Miss Lori. I met Maria Maldor through them. They're all good friends, and
she's fabulous. She's one of my favorite vocalists. Yeah,
she's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And but Cal was the first time I ever saw somebody outside of the church when I got to the circular, quote unquote, circular music world, cut people. So people be up on stage. It's a jam. Yeah, people on stage, they get 2 bars into the song. Cal Walker said, "Thank you very much. We had a good time. Come on back next time." And I was like, "Damn!"
Right.
So I went for like a couple months before I even got up on stage because I was like, "Man."
Yeah, exactly. I came up in a jam just like that in Maine. So it was Ronnie Earl's drummer, Per Hansen, and some other guys were running that jam, and it was like that, right? Like it might be 6 months before you even got up. Once you started coming every Tuesday. And but like, look, man, like, let's talk about that for a second. Like, the result was this, okay? First of all, the music was incredible. Okay, number one. So number two, there were people in the bar that weren't musicians that were buying alcohol to hear the music. Number three, they were also there to watch the drama. Like the same way we watch shows like the Gong Show or America's Top Vocalist or whatever, right? So there was drama, right? Number four, it was making musicians get better. All right, yeah. So like, but all that's been lost in the sake of like fairness and like
PC.
I'm glad you said it, bro. I'm glad
it's what it is because the old cats just didn't. I came to LA, and when I first came to LA, and this is after I've been in the blues for a while. I mean, like I was telling Kevin, I was known around the San Diego world, but outside that, people didn't know me. And so when I went to Cozy's, John Marks was running it, and I don't know if you know John. Do you know John?
No, but I know Cozy's. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John was old school, and so I went 3 times and put my name up on the list 3 Mondays, and they never called me.
Right.
And so when you finally got up, you made sure that my thought was like, when I get up here, I'm gonna make sure that I burn this mother down. Yeah. Because otherwise, you may never get a chance to get back up again, and it was serious that way. But it made you study the craft.
Yeah, absolutely. And those guys were never like total dicks to me. Like, they would get me down and say like, look, don't come back for a while. But they would give me a cassette tape, like out of their own car, and be like, yo, this is what you need to learn and take this, right? Like, so there was like absolutely love. That was real love, like happening. That little stupid jam in Maine produced 3 national touring blues artists. Myself, Nick Curran, who went on to play with the Thunderbirds. Okay. Yeah. Stevie Linworth, who never toured nationally, okay, but is like one of Charlie Beatty's favorite guitar players, right? Like,
right on.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's what that jam produced in Maine, right? Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
But you had to have that, even when I took over running Cozy's, we took the jam session to a whole nother level, and I would have guys to get mad, they'd come in early, an hour before and put their name on the list, and I'm like, guys walking up to me like, man, I want to play, my name's on the list. I'm like, man, look, there's there's Teddy Zigzag, Hank Van Sickle, Gary Malaber, Slash, and fucking Bill Chaplin on stage right now. So you telling me you want me to go up there and cut them off so that you can come up and play, and you're not even at that level yet,
Exactly, but, man. And that should that's just how I think it should be done. If you would like to see the jam continue. That's all there is to it.
Well, not only that, it's kind of a disservice because our music is one of the few music that there's jams everywhere, and people go into these places and they hear these blues bands for the first time, and then like Kevin was saying, and I know it's happened to you, is then they hear your band and they come like, man, I didn't know I liked blues. I'm like, yeah, you like blues, but what blues did you hear? Did you hear a weekend warrior, or did you hear a guy that lives and died by his craft? And it is a difference.
Absolutely.
It's a whole difference when like I got to keep the lights on and I'm performing. It's different from the guy that's a doctor that's coming. He may have the talent, but if he's a doctor 80 hours of the week and then just 1 hour a week he comes in and plays at the jam, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's different feeling. Everything, man. That urgency is gone, man. That life's the whole thing. I mean, like art imitates life, man. You know, if you don't have the blues going into this music as a profession, you will definitely have it coming out.
No doubt, brother.
Yeah. That's what I meant by
doubt.
these relationships at the beginning of this, like seeing Billy and like, hey man, like there's cats out there that don't necessarily even like my music and didn't like me either. 20 years, 25 years later, we've been behind eating enough celery and ranch and carrot sticks out of the tray that we're friends now, man. We're family. We're family.
And that is the way it works. That's the whole premise of the show, is to show people, you know, because people are like, what happens when you guys are in the green room? Everybody wants to go in the green room. And I'm like, you know, they forget that we just humans. So, you know, some green rooms are weird. I walked in the green rooms where, you know, everybody's spread out and no one's saying anything to anybody. But, you know, me, I'm very gregarious and I'm loud. I come, hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? You know, but, you know, but some cats are not that way. You know, I'm thinking of Buddy Rich. One of the cats in LA was telling me one time that he remember when Buddy Rich, this is back when Disneyland used to bring bands in all the time. They used to have live bands playing at the wherever it was. And somebody said they went and Buddy Rich had a great band up there. He said, man, they were smoking. He said, but Buddy kept looking at the bass player and he kept looking over at the keyboard player and he was looking weird while he was playing. He said, and then they took a break. I'm like, all right. He said, they took a break. He said, and when Buddy came back out, he had a whole new band.
Yeah.
Like, damn. He fired everybody on the break. He came back with old band. And everybody know about Albert King. You know, Albert King was notorious with that. You know,
I heard stories about like kicking people off the bus at like truck stops or on the side of the road.
Freddie King. That was Freddie. Freddie King, you know, Scrap Iron was his road manager for a long time and a few other cats. And I got to play with Deacon Jones a lot in LA before he passed away, you know, his old B3 player. And they used to tell me, say, Freddie, say you mess up on the gig. And Freddie wouldn't even say anything. And they're like, I was like, oh, okay. He said, no, we get 20 miles outside of town and he kick you off the bus and give you $20 and a banana.
Yeah. That's what I heard that about, or a paper bag with a sandwich or something. I don't remember. Yeah.
The old school cats just didn't play, man.
Man, even Gary Primich, the harmonica player originally from Indiana, was fighting out of Austin forever, right? I heard stories from Patrick Recob, the bass player, was telling me.
Patrick Recob, yeah. Patrick
was telling me he'd be doing a gig with Primich. After the gig was over, Gary would turn to him and say, "Great job." And then at 4 a.m, he'd have had a key made to Patrick's room and would open up the room, come in, wake him up in the middle of the night, and go over everything that he did wrong on the gig with him.
Wow.
At 4 a.m, 2 a.m, whatever, and then let him go back to bed. And then, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the old cats, man, they were a different breed, you know. And the cats today, you know, if you did that to them, they just be crushed.
No, they quit. Yeah.
They quit. I quit. They talk to me like that. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You know, and to me, I'm like, okay, if you quit, that means that you didn't have what it takes, bro. Because if you can't deal with that, if you can't deal with that little bit of adversity, then
Right. So let's talk about that for a second, right? So like the first thing when I told my father that this is what I wanted to do for a living, right? Play harmonica. The first thing he said is, he goes, don't ever name yourself something stupid like Blind Lemon Lead Dick. That's the first thing he told me. The second thing he said is, are you ready? And I said, yeah. And he goes, get used to poverty. Okay. Yeah. So every time, you know, Mark Hummel, I asked him, I was like 18 years old. I said, hey man, like pretentious, arrogant question. I said, how do I get where you're at? And I didn't mean musically. I meant the business. And he said, stay in college. Right. So like those are humane answers. Yeah. Like being mean. Okay. There's a difference between being nice, which is, hey, great job. You're doing great. Wonderful. And there's a difference between being kind. Like, hey man, maybe you're not cut out for this. Right. And so like that process that you're talking about, like you're going to do it anyway, or you're not, right, is a process of weeding out the people that will ultimately be hurt by the poverty, the rejection, the unfairness of this industry that is prevalent, the hypocrisy, the all of the crazy business practices that happen behind the scenes that leave us broke when other people are making money off of music they didn't even create or had nothing to do with or anything,
Believe me, I know, brother. I'm going through some of that now, but
I'm sorry, me too. Me too.
It's a revolving door, and it's just part of the game, and the thing is, I love what I'm doing, so I'm not going to quit. So I have to just grin and bear it until you can move on. But
that's it. Try to learn, man. Try to learn from it. Yep.
But it is, Randy used to always tell me, he's like that old joke, like how you become a millionaire in this business. He said, start with 2 million.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Like, okay, wow, But I think the super fans, I call them super fans, are those few people that really understand what's going down. They see you on stage smiling, but they know you're hurting. They know that they have no delusions, and they understand. And those are the people that I try to reach all the time, because those are the real fans. I mean, I do it all the time because I appreciate people's time. When people, time is even more than money for me. When people take the time to come drive 3 hours to see you, that is also why after a show, anybody knows me, I'm gonna sit there and sign CDs and talk to people 2-3 hours. Even though I may have a 5 a.m. Wake up call, I'm gonna stand there, I'm gonna talk. As long as you want to talk, I'm gonna sit there and talk to you, because I appreciate your time.
Till they're gone. Till they're gone. Right? Yeah, I'm the same way almost all the time. Okay, sometimes I got to take care of myself, but it's very rare. And most
usually the band is the one to come take care of me, because I just stay there and talk. They'll come get me, and they call me Pops. Like, Pops,
good.
It's 2:30. We got to be up at 5. Come on, let's go.
Good,
Otherwise, I just stand there, because
I'm glad they love you, bro. I'm glad they love you like that.
Yeah, the band has changed now, but I got to give props to Lavelle Jones, Gino Mateo, Leo Dumbecki, Ralph Carter, and all those guys that were with me for 11 years through the muck, before you get, quote unquote, a little success. They were there and had my back. So I want to make sure that I send them that love and respect.
Hey, man, you were always a headliner to me. And I don't mean that like lightly. When I never looked at your slot on the festival order as anything at all. I just looked at like, holy Christmas. Like,
what's so funny, Jason, is now that I do, like a lot of times I am the headliner now.
Yeah.
I don't want that spot. You wind up, you realize that spot is actually horrible for business.
It's terrible.
You actually want to be in the middle. So in my contract now with my booking agents, I tell them, like, I want to be in the middle. I don't want to be the last band going on.
You get that underdog. You get that. You surprise them like that. Yeah.
Well, not that. And people say, well, why? I said, because by the time you go on, let's say it's a 2-day festival, and by the time you go on at the end of that 2-day festival, people have spent all their money.
Yeah.
They're beyond drunk.
Yeah.
Half the people are tired, trying to leave before the parking lot gets to. You know what I mean? I mean.
Yep. Their ears are tired.
That's the spot.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
You think that's the spot, but that's not the spot you want. You want that spot if the show starts at 1 and ends at 9 for the last band. You want that. You want to try to get that between 5:30 and 7.
That's it.
That's the slot that you want.
That's it, man. You know. That's it. Plus, you get back to the room earlier. You get some sleep.
Yeah. Or you actually can walk around the city like I do, because I can't sleep at night. So, I get to walk around and actually see the city, instead of, by the time I walk off stage, everything then rolled up the sidewalks and, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Eating at 7-Eleven, right?
Dude, I'm trying to be better with that when I'm on. I told people it's weird. When I'm on the road, I actually lose weight because I'm so nervous. I can't eat before show. And usually by the time the show is over with, everything's closed. So there are times I go 24 hours where I haven't eaten anything. And in between the workout that I put on stage, when I'm on, when I'm doing a 3-4 month tour, I usually drop 20-25 pounds, which is that's opposite of a lot of people.
I'm the same way. I won't eat before I play, and I'll usually eat after, but just something, and then go to bed. And that's why I put on all this weight over COVID. It's just not gating. Just
I'm not even. I was afraid to even get on the scale. I'm just like, well,
At least you're going for walks. I watch your Instagram. Like,
yeah, but I need to do more.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. You're walking at least.
Yeah, but you look good.
Thanks, baby. I feel good. You know what I mean?
You look good, man.
I have a stronger spiritual connection than I've ever had because the whole pandemic, like, you know, man, like the shutdown and all of the politics and the racial uproar and all of that. For me, what happened was it was just this overwhelming thing that caused me to recognize that I have very little control over what's going on. And so I had to kind of go inward and think. I wrote this song about it off the new record called It Starts With Me. It's just an instrumental, but the feeling of that song is like, man, what is it that I can do to be a better person immediately, like to my wife, who's to you, to my friends, to my neighbor, Aaron Washington, right? Like, what is it to my mom, to my dad? Like, what is the immediate things that I can control, right? And so that prayer that I make every morning to God of like, man, like, please, like, you know, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, all this crazy shit, right?
Yeah,
the courage to change the things I can, me not being a dick about it, right? And the wisdom to know the difference, you know?
Yeah.
It's been, and that supersedes like me having 75 extra pounds on me. You know,
well, you know, it's this thing that people have lost that we used to have when I'm a Southern kid. I'm from East Texas, and there used to be a thing called common decency,
right?
And I say that, and I don't mean that facetiously. I say that because that is out the window now. There's no such thing as common decent. People just don't treat people decent anymore.
I agree, and I think it's going to come back around though, Ray. I really do. Like
I feel the same way, and I've been hoping that way. Pam sometimes can get a little more bleak about it than I am. I kind of stopped watching the news and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know, I'm from East Texas. I've grown up with this stuff, but you know, my grandmother, even with all the stuff that she went through, never preached racism. Never, and what I mean by racism, I don't just mean the black and white thing. It was like you treat everyone with decency and respect until they show you that you can't treat them with decency and respect. That's a different thing. But you know, when we first talking, I'm gonna talk to you with decency and respect until you show me that you're not worth my respect or decency. But you know, I'm not gonna just because you're black or you're Puerto Rican or you whatever. I'm gonna come up with you like a human being unless you show me that you're an asshole. That's different.
I agree, but I think like the behavior that you're talking about right there, right? Like the treating people with respect, regardless of what they look like or what their political affiliations or belief systems are, or whatever. That right there is the work that essentially unites division. Right? Like it's not about the belief or the thought pattern or the system. It's that commonality that we have where I am willing to listen to you. I'm willing to say that you're willing to not, you know, be a dick, right? Be mean or condescending or patronizing.
But that's what I'm saying. That decency, that civility is gone. It's now at a point that if I don't agree with you, not even if I don't agree with you, I'm not even going to listen to your argument. It used to be, this was America was about, the freedom. And that means that we're not all going to agree, but at least have the civility to come in decency to listen to my argument. You don't have to agree with my argument, but you don't just turn someone off. I mean, that's what I mean by that's what I mean by common decency. We may not even agree, but we can agree to disagree, and we can still go have a pint and go listen to the music and not have the same political or religion affiliation. But nowadays it's like, if you don't believe what I believe, if you don't think the way I think, then I don't want nothing to do with you. And that's sad because you're missing out on what the world is truly all about.
Man, I love you so much right now. And you're filling my whole body literally with warmth, just listening to you say that stuff, you know. And so it's not gone, right? It's right here, right now, like, and I'm feeling it, and I do think it's going to come back. I do think we are going to a larger degree recognize that this whole outrage culture that we've been experiencing. Oh, well, a lot of it I think is based on the fact that we're not face to face, and very rarely we're even doing this, where you can see my facial expressions, how I'm talking, how I'm phrasing things. Things are in text, right? And then the other thing I think is important to remember for people that are in any way upset or scared or have a view of things, that there's really like 2% of these people, like 1% that thinks this way over here, and 1% that thinks that way. They're like the loudest. They're like taking up like 97% of the bandwidth of the argument. So it's really easy for your worldview, if it's just Twitter and Facebook, to think that like everybody is so divided. But when we actually go out or like talk to each other, like you and I are now, even digitally like this, where we can see and hear and feel each other, or even better, when we go out and have a pint or a cigar, sit on the porch and discuss these issues, we find that the world is really not in as bad of a shape as the television or Facebook would have you think it is.
You know, and that's